to another video. I'm out doing a little bit exploring on a slightly cloudy Saturday. I'm over in an area of Pembrokeshire, almost Carmarthenshire actually, not entirely sure. I think it's still Pembrokeshire. I haven't been for a long time. We're over sort of Llandisylio, Llandurwyn, Llanfelteg sort of area. I've been driving around all these little rural roads looking for something in particular. I had practiced pronouncing the place where I am, but of course I think it's Tegfynydd or something like that, but obviously I will be putting a map up and details. I've been told about an old mansion house which is a ruin now, which I'm hoping to be able to get some glimpses of from the road. It is on private land. Obviously if I see any of the landowners I might talk to them nicely and see if I can get closer, but I want to see if I can see it from the road. So at the moment obviously all the hedges are trimmed and there's not so much growth at the moment, so I might be able to see it. But anyway, just down the road from that, where I've parked up now, there is an old mill. I've just driven past that and that looks really interesting, so I've stopped up here, parked my little car, and I'm going to get my walking boots on and walk down to have a look at that, and then I'll carry on up the road and see if I can get a sight of this mansion house. Even if I can't see it, I will put some details up in the actual video and links in the description just for the history of it, and a few photos that sort of exist of it, and a few people have managed to get photos of it in the past. I believe it's just is a complete ruin now, but it just looks really interesting, you know, when something just grabs your attention. I just thought, right, I'll come out this direction and have a look at it. As I was just about to change into my walking boots, I suddenly realised I should show you my Vivo barefoot shoes. I mostly wear barefoot, sort of minimal type of footwear now, and Vivo barefoot is my most favourite. They're fantastic. There'll be a link in the description which you'll be able to get a 20% discount if you click on that link, which is amazing. They do, I think it's a 100-day trial, so there's absolutely no risk. If you don't like them for whatever reason, you can send them back and get a full refund. But these are what I call my posher ones, which as you can see are quite smart. I wear them in the summer for working in Picton Castle, going out shopping, everything. They are actually a trail running shoes. They've got a good grip and things, but I just think they look really smart, so I keep them for tidy stuff. They're also good for viewing houses because they're easy to put on and off. But these are my, well, they call them hiking boots, but again, because they're barefoot, you can use them for anything. I run in them and everything. They look pretty well worn at the moment. I can need to give them a clean and a treatment, but they're pretty much waterproof. They're so comfortable. Wear them everywhere. Really grippy. Look at that sole. Recommend them to anyone. Fantastic. So much lighter than an old-fashioned walking boot, and you know, they're foot-shaped rather than the other way around. So yeah, brilliant. As I say, click on the link in the description and you'll get a 20% discount, which is amazing. Right, I've finally got my boots on, so let's have a little stroll down the road. I might not film all of it, but it's not that far. I can just, actually if I zoom in, you'll be able to see the roof of the mill. There you go, you can just see the roof of it, so it's only just down there anyway. But yeah, I suppose it's nice for everyone else to see where I'm walking. So as I say, I'm still filming with my phone, so I'm walking along holding it up, but note I remembered to have it in landscape straight away this time, so I'm getting there. But yeah, I need to get my other one out and see if I can put it on the chest harness, and then I can just walk without having to walk along holding your phone up and realising you're not really looking to see where your feet are going. Yeah, some people have said what I should do is film more of a sort of silent video, and then when you get home do a voiceover, which works if you're in busy areas and things. Like if I kept meeting people on paths, I don't want to be the crazy woman walking along talking to her phone. Perhaps I'd do that then, especially if I had the little camera on the chest harness. But I also quite like chatting, so it's my initial response to things. Now, if I come around the corner and see something exciting, then you get my initial response rather than then who knows how much later I'd actually do a voiceover. Probably wouldn't even be the same day. So I think it's a bit different then, you sort of forget some of the details. This is a really interesting little road. As I say, I'll put up maps and everything. I'll do a what 3 words of where I've parked. So if you're in a fairly compact vehicle, you could park there without blocking either of those tracks. I mean, this is quite a big passing space. You could park a vehicle here. I'll check the surface for everyone while I'm here. Yeah, that's stone underneath. It's not mud. That's good. So you could park there, and if someone comes along, there's still room for someone to pass. But please don't just park randomly in, the more compact passing space. There's only room for one vehicle. Because that's just not right for the people who live and work in these areas. And don't go on a gateway like that, because you get stuck. People do though. Right, we're down at the mill now. I think it's Tegfynydd or something you pronounce it. I do apologise to everyone who can actually speak Welsh, but this is really interesting. There we go, I was zoomed in a bit too much. You can see the whole thing now. What an amazing building. Obviously not used for anything anymore. Really lovely old stone. I'm tempted to walk down there and look in the doors. There's all piles of stone over there that's probably been used with it before. As I say, I will try and find out any history of it, and I'll put links in the description if there's anything particularly to see. I'm loving these the old windows at the top there. Lovely. I mean, it looks like it would make an amazing house. So you can see how thick the walls are. I'll walk on a little bit further and see from the other side. I mean, I don't like walking around these places too much. One, I don't know if it's safe. 2, this is private land. And 3, this is very marshy here. Right, had to stop filming then. A vehicle came, and of course it was the postman. But I suppose many other people come down here. This is a tiny little road between sort of just small villages. Oh, I've just noticed a planning notice on here. Oh, here we go. Someone's had the same thought as me. See if I can zoom in. Conversion of a disused mill building to residential accommodation. There you go. Tegfynydd, I think you pronounce it, and that's Carmarthenshire. How interesting. Right, well, I'm going to have to go on the website when I get back and look up more details when it was, the planning notice was put in, and if there's any any notes on it and things. But wow, that's so again, if I hadn't stopped, I wouldn't walk past, I wouldn't even have noticed that. I was just saying. Sorry, I'll just turn my Garmin watch off. I paused it, I just realised, otherwise I'm not really tracking my steps properly. But yeah, what a lovely place. I mean, it's a lovely quiet road, but you're not actually that far from a village. Tegfynydd has got a lovely pub, and then it's only a couple of miles up and you're up on the main A40 road, which goes over to Haverfordwest and on to Fishguard, or the other way to go over to Whitland and then on to Carmarthen and things. So it's actually quite a good location, but it's so quiet down here. So some people probably say, oh, you don't want it converted into residential, but of course it's never going to be a mill again, and who actually maintain it. How interesting. I'll keep an eye on the planning permission for that and see if it gets granted. I hope it does, and then I'll come back at some time and see if people actually started building, because I'd love to know what their plans are for it. But yeah, what a lovely spot to live. It's the sort of building I'd love to live in, but I wouldn't want to do the work myself. Right, I will, after seeing that, that's good news. He's going to get used. He's not just going to fall apart even more, I'll walk back up towards the car. I'll carry on filming for a little bit so you can see how I put my watch back on again, so I'm tracking my steps. I do, this is a chance to talk about it now actually while I walk up this hill. I started doing virtual challenges. I kept seeing these things on Instagram where these amazing medals for doing virtual challenges, and I thought, what on earth? Went and looked, and basically it's like all sorts of different routes, so different lengths, from sort of less than 100 kilometres up to sort of thousands for some of the long ones. And when you've done that, sorry, I'm going to be out of breath now walking up this hill. Let's stop for a minute. But yeah, going on about the virtual challenges, and then once you've done the distance tracking, you can either be walking outside or running or cycling, but you can be indoor, so you can be on the treadmill or exercise bike, swimming. People sort of track the doing housework and gardening, all sorts of things. You can convert, they have their conversion charts, you convert different activities into like kilometres and then put it onto your challenge. I've just finished my first one, which is the South Downs Way. I'm trying to remember how far it was now. But anyway, I've just had an email today to say that my medal's on the way, so I will be doing a separate video about it then. But yeah, it's fantastic. It really encourages you to get out and exercise, or obviously exercise indoors as well. And you get a lovely medal for it. So again, there is a link. I'll put a link in the description below, and there's also a link over on my blog for you to go on there. And I think you get a discount as well if you use my link. I will check on that, and I'll put the details up on the screen of the actual discount you get. But really recommend it. It really, especially for myself, just out walking, and it just encourages me to get out. Because some days I thought I can't be bothered, but then I think no, I like to try and do at least two kilometres a day. So I can actually get these challenges finished in a reasonable amount of time. And it's just so encouraging. I love them. And the medals are amazing, so I can't wait to show you the one I'm getting. There's a view back down to the mill, by the way. As you can see, that's going to be a fantastic place to live. Right, so I will carry on walking up now, and I will start filming again when we're up near where hopefully I'm going to be able to see this old mansion, or at least be able to look over and see where it is in the trees anyway, which will be interesting in itself. I've just checked the OS map on my phone. I've got the app for it, and that is actually a footpath going down there, and eventually it goes across a field, footbridge across the river at the bottom, and over to the village where the pub is. I don't think I'll walk all the way over to the village, but I'll certainly do a walk down this bit. But I say I'll carry on up the road first, see if we can see this mansion, and then I'll come back. And before I get in the car, I'll have a walk down that old track as well, which looks lovely. So there you go. That's looking down to the village of Carmarthenshire. There's a lady down the bottom there walking a dog. So that track I'm talking about is over there. It would go down there and over to the village basically. So quite a nice walk. It's a bit flooded down the field at the bottom. But you can see for quite a long way over into Carmarthenshire. It is a nice spot up here. Just got nearly up to the top of the road at the junction, near where the old mansion is. And here there's, I don't know whether it's an old quarry or it's an old pond or something. There's certainly water gathering in the bottom of it. Probably was a quarry. But yeah, interesting. And there you can see more of see these big old trees? You know, you don't see big old trees like that around sort of Pembrokeshire, Carmarthenshire, unless there's a big estate, a big mansion, that's something like that nearby. So it's definitely a sign I'm in the right place. And there's another bit in here which looks like an old building or quarry or something. Right, I've got to be careful filming, so there is actually, what you've got is this old lodge by the gate here, which obviously isn't lived in anymore, but there's built a new bungalow in like the ground, so I can't film too much. But look at this old gate. This is obviously one of the entrances to the mansion originally, and they've still got the old gate there and everything. amazing. Absolutely amazing. Of course you can't see a thing. It's a fair distance up into those woods, really thick. But this is obviously one of the original gates. I'd so love to be able to get in there. Once I post up the pictures or descriptions or links to some of the photos of the old house, you'll see why I'm so fascinated by it. Or certainly if you share my interest in sort of historical stuff and disused buildings and things. Anyway, I'm going to walk back up now and go back down and go and do that little track down towards the village, because as you can see how thick this woodland is, there's absolutely no chance of seeing any sort of mansion. If I could get a drone up, that'd be great, but I don't think they'd appreciate me flying a drone around anyway. But it's a bit funny to think that it's literally over in those woods somewhere. Right, I thought I'd just show you on this really interesting website, and I will obviously put a link to this in the description. Basically, it seems to show historical details of all different sorts of places in Wales. This is where the gate is that I've just shown in my video. So we've got the old lodge there, they've built a new bungalow over here, and this is where the gate is. And you can see there's a driveway up, which obviously, as you saw, the woodland is really, really thick now. Driveway across, and that's where the ruins of the mansion house actually is. And as you can see, it would have a lovely view out across there. This is up sort of where the quarry area was that I showed, and then back down. This is where I've parked with the roadway going down across towards the village. So it just shows you a bit more of the layout of the area anyway. The people that own the ruins of the mansion house own this farm, which as you can see is very close to it. This woodland is so thick now, there's just no chance of seeing anything from the road at all. In previous years, people have, let's just say, access to the area. I don't know whether they had permission or not, but they have got photographs of it. And I will link in the description to all the sort of sources I can find with photographs. But if there is any other information that I can sort of put on my video, I'll put it up on the screen in a bit anyway. But I just thought I'd show you exactly where the gateway is, which is down here, and I see it would add a lovely driveway over to the house. It's a bit funny to think that it's literally over in those woods somewhere. I'm walking quite slowly just in case I suddenly get a glimpse. But nothing at the moment. I'm also keeping a wary eye in case the police suddenly come out. But again, look at that big old tree. You know, and but you're on this lovely hill looking out, and where the mansion is, there are fantastic views out across the countryside. It must have been amazing in its day. But yeah, it's just thick woodland, no chance of seeing. It's actually a lovely old farmyard and farmhouse down very close to it. And if there's a footpath closer to it, it'd be interesting to film that, because that looks really lovely. But yeah, I'm going to stop filming now because I'm very close to the driveway entrance. And if the police suddenly come around the corner, all on the landowners. But at least I've got fairly close, and at least I saw that lovely gateway anyway. Well, I'm on this old track now, just coming down from where the car's parked. I've got to be careful because you can see there's all these big deep ridges. I've obviously brought tractors and things down here and made quite a big rut. It is fairly dry underfoot though, so that's good. It's obviously quite a lovely, proper old road. It's not just a footpath, it's quite wide. So it would have been a link from that mansion and the farm and the mill over to the village, I assume. So interesting, it's like stone underfoot as well. Although as I say that gets a muddy bit. I think walking in the middle rut is probably the better idea. It's a bit drier here. There's a few horse droppings. I was about to say, if I had a horse I'd definitely ride down there. Although I think at the bottom it is officially a footpath. When you get down to the bottom, I think it goes across a field. As I say, I'm not planning to walk all the way over the village, but I might have a look. And if it looks particularly nice and you can get down by the river and things. Right, I think I'll stop filming now because it's getting quite muddy and difficult to keep them changing. You can see how deep the ruts are, so I look back up the other way. And stop filming now. If there's anything interesting, I will show it to you. I can see now while there's such deep ruts, they're obviously coming down here with big tractors and trailers and things to, I imagine it's having silage off these fields, but you can see how wet they are. Oh, and there's also maize from off this field. So, and the field above, so they might have been coming in this way for that as well. You can see how wet this field is. There's a bit of lying water on it, so there's someone walking the dog along the bottom there, so you can obviously walk along by the river. I think the footpath on the map officially goes straight across this field on a sort of diagonal, and you get down to the path where that woman's working. And there's a footbridge across then over to the, oh, there they go. You can just see over, I can see the person's just gone off the footpath and I can see them going over the footbridge now. So I'm tempted to walk down, so I'm not going to walk across the field. One, it's a crop. People might think that's just grass, but that is a crop. Plus I can see how wet it is, so I'll check the map first, see how far it's going to be. I don't want to walk too far really here. I need to stop and go to the shops on the way home. Not entirely sure what time it is at the moment. Don't want to be back too late, but annoyingly there is. You could go over that footbridge and round, and then there should be another footpath over there that goes back up the hill, and up the hill there is where the mansion house is meant to be. But when I walked along the road, I looked to see where the footpath should be, and there's absolutely no sign of it. There's no sign. You can see no one uses it. Again, it's across a field like this, which is a crop. And although legally it is a footpath and you could walk straight across it, but I don't do that sort of thing. I'd walk around the edge. But you can see how muddy it will be. But it would be quite nice to see the footbridge across the river. So I'll just have a little look on my map. See how far it would be. If it's only just round the corner and down there, then I might do it. And I can just walk back up then. Right, I'll stop this now so I can check my map.